How to Overcome the Fear of Speaking English. Part 1. The Journey Begins. The Decision to Change. Hi, my name is Anna, and I want to share my story about how I overcame my fear of speaking English. I hope my journey inspires you to take your own steps toward fluency. The beginning of my journey. One bright afternoon, while sitting in my favorite park, I observed people chatting and laughing. They seemed so carefree and happy. I could hear snippets of their conversations in English. It sounded so melodic, like music to my ears. I longed to be among them, yet a knot of anxiety settled in my stomach. Speaking English filled me with fear. My heart raced, my hands trembled, and my mind would go blank whenever I tried to speak. I had always admired people who spoke English effortlessly. They appeared confident and intelligent. Speaking English would open so many doors, new friends, opportunities to travel, and even better job prospects. But to seize those opportunities, I first had to overcome this paralyzing fear. That day, sitting on the park bench, I made a decision. It was time to change. Taking the first step. I knew the journey wouldn't be easy. I had tried learning English before, but I always gave up when things got difficult. This time, however, I was determined to succeed. I told myself, start small. So I did. I dug up an old English textbook from my school days. It was covered in dust, but still in excellent condition. I opened it to the first page, reading the words aloud. They seemed familiar, but I struggled to pronounce them correctly. I started with simple sentences. How are you? My name is Anna. Though they were simple, these were important first steps. Each time I spoke, I gained a little more confidence. I can do this, I told myself. I just need to keep going. Practice in front of the mirror. One evening, I stood in front of my bedroom mirror, staring at my reflection. My heart pounded, but I took a deep breath and began, "Hello, my name is Anna." My voice was shaky at first, but I kept repeating the sentence, "I want to learn English." With each repetition, I felt a bit more at ease. Talking to myself in the mirror became part of my daily routine. I'd describe my day. Today, I went to the park and saw a beautiful bird. These sentences were simple, but they helped me practice. I paid close attention to my pronunciation, watching my mouth move as I spoke. Sometimes, I'd make silly faces in the mirror just to make the practice more fun and enjoyable. Conversations with Bella. I have a pet dog named Bella. She's a fluffy golden retriever with big brown eyes and a gentle personality. Bella loved to sit beside me while I practiced. One day, I decided to start speaking English with her. Of course, Bella didn't understand English, but she was a wonderful listener. "Good morning, Bella," I'd say, and she'd wag her tail happily. I began telling her about my day. "Bella, today I'm going to study English," or "Bella, I'm going to the store." She never responded, but I imagined she was cheering me on. Talking to Bella made me feel less lonely. I wasn't afraid of making mistakes because she never judged me. This small, safe practice was exactly what I needed to boost my confidence. Setting goals. To stay motivated, I set small, manageable goals. My first goal was to learn 10 new words every week. I wrote the words on sticky notes and placed them around my room. Apple, book, dog, tree. These simple words were everywhere. Every time I saw a sticky note, I'd say the word aloud. By the end of the week, I knew all 10 words. My next goal was to use those words in sentences. "I have an apple," or "This is a book." Practicing these sentences made them feel more natural. Reaching these small goals gave me a sense of accomplishment. I felt proud of the progress I was making, step by step. Finding a study buddy. One day, while chatting with my friend Emma, I told her about my English practice. Emma was also learning English, so she suggested we study together. I thought it was a fantastic idea. Having a study buddy would make the process more enjoyable and less stressful. We agreed to meet every Saturday morning at the park. During our first session, we sat on a bench under a large oak tree and took turns practicing sentences. "Hello, my name is Anna," I said, and Emma responded, "Nice to meet you, Anna. I'm Emma." We laughed at our mistakes and encouraged each other. Studying with Emma helped me feel less anxious and reminded me that I wasn't alone in this journey. Reading aloud. Another technique that helped me improve was reading aloud. I picked up my favorite book, Charlotte's Web, and began reading it in English. At first, it was tough. I stumbled over words, and I had to look up many meanings. But I didn't give up. I read a little bit every day. Reading aloud helped me practice pronunciation and intonation, and it also expanded my vocabulary. I learned new words like spider, barn, and friendship. As I got deeper into the story, I started to understand the characters' adventures better. Listening to English. Listening to English was just as important as speaking it. I began by listening to simple English songs like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. The melody was sweet, and the lyrics were simple to follow. I'd sing along every night before bed, and it made learning fun. I also started listening to English podcasts. One of my favorites was a travel podcast called Wanderlust. The host, Sophie, had a clear, soothing voice, and she shared fascinating stories about her adventures around the world. I listened to the podcast while walking in the park, and it felt like I was having a casual conversation with a friend. Watching English movies. Watching English movies was another enjoyable way to learn. I started with movies I loved, choosing ones with English subtitles. One of the first films I watched was Finding Dory. The story of a little fish searching for her family had warmed my heart. I picked up phrases like, just keep swimming, and we're family. Each time I watched the movie, I understood a little more. I even mimicked the character's speech, and it felt like I was part of the story. Writing in English. Writing in English helped me organize my thoughts and improve my grammar. I began keeping a diary where I wrote about my day in simple sentences. Today, I went to the market and bought some apples. I also wrote short stories about Bella's adventures in the garden. Writing gave me the freedom to experiment with new vocabulary and sentence structures. It made learning English feel creative and fun, like a game. Joining an online community. To practice with more people, I joined English Learners Worldwide, an online forum. In my first post, I introduced myself. Hi, I'm Anna from Brazil, and I'm learning English. The responses were heartwarming. People shared their own experiences and learning tips. We discussed books, movies, and hobbies. It was a fantastic way to practice both writing and reading in English, and I felt a sense of belonging in this global community. Overcoming challenges. Learning English wasn't always easy. Some words were difficult to pronounce, and grammar rules were confusing. But every time I faced a challenge, I reminded myself why I started. I wanted to speak English fluently. I asked for help when needed, and my friends, Emma, and the online community were always supportive. I learned to be patient with myself, accepting that every mistake was an opportunity to learn. Celebrating small victories. Every time I achieved a goal, I made sure to celebrate. When I mastered 10 new words, I treated myself to ice cream. When I finished reading a book in English, I rewarded myself with a new one. Celebrating these small victories kept me motivated. I also kept a progress journal where I noted down my accomplishments and how they made me feel. Looking back, I saw how far I had come, and it filled me with pride. A breakthrough moment. One day, I decided to challenge myself. I went to a local cafe where many tourists gathered, and I ordered my coffee in English. "I'd like a cappuccino, please." The barista smiled and said, "Coming right up." In that moment, I felt a surge of pride. I had spoken English in public without fear. My journey to overcome the fear of speaking English wasn't just about learning a language. It was about personal growth. I learned to be patient, persistent, and positive. I made new friends, discovered new interests, and embraced the journey with all its ups and downs. Now, I enjoy speaking English with confidence. If I can do it, you can too. Remember, the journey might be challenging, but with perseverance and the right strategies, you can overcome your fear of speaking English. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and celebrate every small victory. You've got this. Part 2. Daily Practice. Establishing a routine. After deciding to change and taking the first steps, my next focus was on daily practice. Consistency played a crucial role in building my confidence and improving my skills. I quickly realized that to make real progress, I needed to incorporate English into my daily routine. I set aside specific times each day for different activities. Mornings for speaking practice, afternoons for listening, and evenings for reading and writing. Every morning, I greeted myself in the mirror. "Good morning, Anna." Then I described my plans for the day. "Today, I will go to the market and buy some apples." Talking to myself. Talking to myself in English became a daily ritual. Whenever I had a spare moment, I'd speak aloud, whether in the shower or while walking. After breakfast, I'll study English. Or, in the afternoon, I'll meet Emma at the park. This practice helped me think in English. The more I practiced, the more natural it felt. Another helpful technique was describing my surroundings. As I walked to the store, I'd talk about what I saw. "There's a red car." "The sky is blue." Or, "That tree is very tall." At home, I'd describe my room. "My bed is next to the window." Or, "There's a bookshelf full of books." These small, everyday descriptions made me feel more comfortable using English in real-life situations. Involving Bella in my practice, Bella remained an essential part of my practice routine. Every morning, I'd greet her in English. "Good morning, Bella. How are you today?" She'd wag her tail happily, making me smile. I'd tell her my plans. "Bella, today I'll clean the house," or later, "I'll cook dinner." Talking to Bella was relaxing because she never judged me. Practicing with her gave me the confidence to keep going. Practice with friends. While practicing alone was helpful, I knew I needed real conversations to improve. I reached out to my friends who were also learning English. We created a WhatsApp group called English Chat where we communicated only in English. We shared our thoughts, plans, and even jokes. Hi, everyone. Today I went for a walk in the park. And Emma would reply, That sounds nice, Anna. What did you see? These interactions made me feel more comfortable with conversational English. Role-playing, real-life situations. One of our favorite activities was role-playing different scenarios. Emma and I pretended to be in a restaurant one day. Hello, I'd like to order a pizza, please, I said, and Emma replied, Sure, would you like anything to drink? This exercise was not only enjoyable, but also practical. It prepared us for real-life situations. We also practiced phone conversations. I'd pretend to call Emma to make plans. Hi, Emma. It's Anna. Do you want to go to the cinema this Saturday? These role plays boosted my confidence and made me feel more prepared for real interactions. Using technology for practice. Technology played a big role in my learning process. I downloaded several language learning apps. My favorite was Learn English Fast, which had a variety of exercises, from vocabulary games to pronunciation practice. I spent 30 minutes every afternoon using the app, starting with basic exercises and gradually progressing to more advanced levels. The instant feedback was incredibly helpful, as I could see my progress and improve where needed. YouTube and online resources. YouTube became another valuable resource for me. I found tutorials on grammar, vocabulary, and conversational skills. I also watched TV shows with English subtitles. Friends quickly became my favorite show because the characters' conversations were simple to understand and relevant to everyday life. Watching one episode each evening, I picked up casual phrases like, "How's it going?" and "I'm just kidding." Over time, I started relying less on subtitles and understood more of the dialogue naturally. Music and singing. Music made learning English even more fun. I started with simple songs like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and sang along to improve my pronunciation. As my confidence grew, I moved on to pop songs like Love Story by Taylor Swift. The melody was catchy and the lyrics were simple to follow. Singing made English feel less like studying and more like playing. Improving pronunciation. Pronunciation was important to me, so I found a website with pronunciation exercises. It had recordings of native speakers saying words and sentences. I'd listen and repeat after them. Tongue twisters like, "She sells seashells by the seashore" were challenging but enjoyable to practice. Over time, these exercises helped me speak more clearly and naturally, learning idioms and phrases. Idioms and phrases added color and variety to my English. I found a book called 1000 Common English Idioms and started learning new expressions. Phrases like break the ice and piece of cake were fun to use in conversations. One day, I joked with Emma, "Learning English is not a piece of cake, but we can break the ice with practice." We both laughed, and using idioms made our conversations more lively. Feedback and improvements. Feedback was essential to my improvement. I often asked Emma or my teacher for advice. Emma noticed I was saying tree instead of three, so we practiced together until I got it right. My teacher, Mrs. Green, was also very supportive. She listened to my pronunciation, corrected my mistakes, and gave me grammar exercises to help with writing. Their feedback was invaluable and helped me refine my skills. Staying motivated. There were times when I felt frustrated or discouraged, but I stayed motivated by reminding myself of my goals. I wanted to speak English fluently, travel, and make new friends. I kept a vision board with pictures of places I wanted to visit and quotes that inspired me. I also celebrated my progress by rewarding myself with small treats. When I learned 10 new words, I'd treat myself to ice cream. When I finished reading a book in English, I'd buy a new one. These small rewards kept me motivated and reminded me that I was making steady progress. A journey of growth. My daily practice was a journey of growth and discovery. It was challenging at times, but always rewarding. Each day, I became more confident and fluent in English. I embraced every step, knowing that the effort was worth it. I hope my story inspires you to make English practice a part of your daily routine. Remember, consistency is key. Use different methods, stay motivated, and keep practicing. You can achieve your goals with persistence and dedication. Enjoy the journey and never stop learning. I hope you've enjoyed reading this. Bye for now.